xylem, the phlegm. You must remove. All right, so I want to teach you how to do air layering. Before then, um, let's look at some of the material that we need for the air layering. First, you need your foil paper. This is foil paper cut to this to this size. You have to get a foil paper cut to this size. You can see it's a foil paper. Then you need a sellotape. The sellotape. Then you need a knife or a blade like this. Knife or a blade. Then you need a garden cutter. It's a garden cutter. Then you need scissors. You need scissors. Then you need rope like this. Maybe smaller than this, but rope of this size. This is a substrate. You need a substrate. This is this is sawdust. So now let me explain its function. So this is used to cover the air layer after you have done all the process. This is the last thing you're going to be using when you're done with all the process of layering. You use it to cover the area where you layer so that excess sunlight will not get into the place you want it to root. So you just want it to remain moist and have to have a little water around the environment. That's why you're using this. You don't want excess sun to get into the area where you layered. This sellotape is used to stick this nylon at the mouth of the nylon for it to form a cylindrical part. You're going to see it afterwards. So now the next one is your scissors. So your scissors used in cutting the sellotape, using also cutting this nylon. And we have a garden cutter. Garden cutter is used in preparing the area where you want to layer. Let's say there's some branches there, you use to cut it out, or some leaves. You also use to cut some leaves. Then we have your rope. This rope is for you to tie the two edge if you're using this method of nylon. Some people use container. So if you're using container, you don't need this rope. If you're using my own method, I use this nylon, then you need this two rope. You're going to see the function of this rope. Then you need a cutter like this. We're going to use to peel the section where you want the roots, where the plant to root. So where you want it to be root is where we're going to use to peel the section. That's the function. Then your substrate. This is what form a kind of a soil to the place where you scrape for rooting. So this is what form a kind of soil. So this is substrate. So now this substrate, I one mistake people make when they're using this substrate. I'm going to explain to you. Now substrate, you can see this one now is a little bit dry. You can see it's dry. Now if it is dry season, let's say the season you're going to a layer is dry season. This is one thing most people will not tell you. If it is dry season, you will try not to add water to this. You understand? Try not to add water to this if it is dry season. Leave it dry like this. If it is rainy season, just like this season I am now, this season is rainy season, I don't need adding water to this. You understand? I don't need adding water to this because once it starts raining, the water will start penetrating from one way or the other into the air layer. Although you during the air layer, trying to make sure the water did not penetrate, but one way or the other, water will enter. So once water enter, if you add water to this already, and water enter into the substrate, you discover that there will be excess water. But then if you did not add water, before little water, the rainwater will enter. That water will enter and almost blend to how it's supposed to be originally. So it's better you don't add water if it is rainy season use. Thank you. Let's move to the air layering. So all right, this is the branch you're going to be air layering. This is cover what you're going to air layering. So remember, before you do your air layering, you must ensure that the guava tree you're air layering must have started fruiting at least once. It must have started fruiting at least once or twice. So if you have not started fruiting, don't air layer. Because if you air layer when it has not started fruiting, it's going to delay before that very one you air layer will start fruiting. It's going to look like the one you planted by seed. So any tree you're going to air layer, you must air layer a fruiting what tree. So even if you are grafting a tree, make sure that you graft from a tree, you take your seum from a tree that already start fruiting. Some people just go to any tree that have not started fruiting and start layering or start doing grafting, cutting the stem from that to do a graft, to graft any plant. When you do that, that plant will take time before it start fruiting. Before your plant to fruit very easy earlier and fruit from a dwarf stage, you must layer that tree from a fruiting tree or a tree that fruited before. So now this is the branch we're going to be layering. So let's go. This tree already fruited before. So let's go with this one. So let's go. You have to remove leaves like this. So you see you have gotten this part, but we can't just stay here because we're going to be using this side. So you remove up to this, you can also remove this. I always tell people remove any leaf at the back of what you are layering. Now, the reason why you have to remove all the leaf that was at the back is because if you don't remove these leaves, this leaf will still be taking the same nutrient that you want to. You want everything to come from here. You want all this the glucose from the sun that the sun is going to be dropping on the leaf. You want it to come from here. Now the process of them coming from here, they will start building the colors around where you're going to pee. You understand? They will start building colors. So by so doing, you don't want any leaf to be at the back. Let the back be clear, just like this. Let all leaf come from this side. So let's go. So I'm going to be marking here. I'm also going to be marking section. So I normally take, you can take from here to here, just like that's like an inch. So you can just use your hand the way I do, and mark here also. So I showed you, I will start scraping. So you will scrape very well to remove the brown part, the xylem, the phlegm. So you must remove all of them. People don't scrape very well when they are doing air layering. You must scrape well. Remember, you must wash this knife. Make sure it's very clean. Make sure the knife is very clean. So you scrape very well. Don't scrape to don't cut the cambium. It's just the phlegm and the xylem you are removing. And the brown back of the tree. So you can see now. So this is how you scrape this very part. So you can see how clean it is. Remember, I didn't touch this whitish part. Now, after doing this now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that all this glucose that are going to come from here should build here. Now there will be a little colors that will form here. That colors will now be done to bring out the root at the end of the day. So you will make sure that you have something like this. Like I said, then nothing grows here or no leaf should be here. Everything should come from here. I'm sure if you see anything growing here after you have done this, always remove it so that everything will start coming from here. When anything comes from here become idle. So there are two things that can happen is either here will die or it will take time before it produce root. So let's go for the next step. So this is the nylon. So what is here is the sellotape. Look at it. You can see it's sticky. Look at it, sticky. That's what is here. You can see. So it's the sellotape. What we did was that we cut the sellotape and place at the mat just like this side now. We cut a short piece of the sellotape and place it in the mat of this side, which is this side now. So you can see that's what we did here to make this thing gum so that you can be able to have a cylindrical part like this. So we're going to wrap this round. Look at. Then I'm going to use this now to fold inside here. So by so doing, you can see I form this cylindrical part. So this is what I was trying to achieve. This, like I said, this is some people use disposable cup or some people use bottle also. So after doing this, but for me this is more easier part for me to do. So after doing this, look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring my rope. So this is my rope that I talked about. So I'm going to tie from this end. Okay, let me tie from this end. So look at in my tying now. When I'm tying this now, look at I'm going to give a lot of space here because this is where the root will shoot from. It's not going to shoot from here. You'll be shooting from here. So we're giving a lot of space here like this. And remember, I also have to give some space here also. I must give some space because colors will also build here. So, but the space here will be more than the space here. So I'm going to be tying this part. This is one of the easier methods you can use when it comes to air layering. Straighten it. You have to tie it very well so that water will not easily enter. The water will enter with little amount of water. Like I said, see I'm tying it very, very well. So this is how you do your tying. It's very strong now. So the next step I'm going to do is to now I have to put my sawdust. This is my sawdust. So you're gonna put it inside. So you can try to pack it little by little. It might take you small time, but that is the job. It take you some time to do it. Don't worry, that is the job. Part of the whole thing. By the time you have mastered it, you won't be taking much time. So this is it. So I will now come here and use the second rope. And the second rope, yeah, I will now put it here. Then tie this one also. So let me give some gap, some excess rope here, so that can easily tie. And just come here like this. Tie this guy very well. You tie as if you're tying the devil, negative energy around you. So you now remove the excess. Remove the excess. Same thing here. So look at it. So the sawdust is inside now. So the next thing you're going to do, like I said, this is more the final stage. So the final stage now is now the foil that you use. I'm going to use to wrap. So after doing this now, I'm going to wrap this. Remember, the shiny part must be outside and the door part will be inside. For the foil, you now have to cover it and wrap it like as if I'm wrapping some food, barbecue. Barbecue. So you can see how smooth it is. This thing I've just taught you, you don't know how much I've charged for this. So this is a very simple way of carrying out air layering on any plant. So you can see they are it's very good and very smooth. So with this, it's just an interval of 3 weeks and they will now produce root. So this is what you do when you want to do air layering. Thank you. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more educative video like this so that you will always be updated in your garden. Thank you.